Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is now July 4th of 2023. Happy 4th of July, everybody around there. And we have a lot of things to discuss involving Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny by, of course, Kathleen Kennedy, because yes, she ran the show when it came to the development of this movie and really just pushed James Mangold to do this or that with this movie, and to really actually have Phoebe Waller-Bridge contribute to the actual story was another big mistake on LUCASFILM's end. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into the subject, shall we? Now, we know that Mangold really mangled this movie, as I like to say. I mean, sure, he may have his hit and misses in Hollywood, but I think that this one was a huge miss on his part. Not just because of his overall script, but also because of Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Helena. And let me just say one thing, Helena is so insufferable as a character. It's one of the main problems with this movie, if you guys have seen it. And to be very clear, I did not spend a cent on this film. I got to see it for free. A buddy of mine is a projectionist, so there you go. But what's interesting about this is that we have a lot of things going on right now with Phoebe Waller and Kathleen Kennedy getting very defensive over Indy 5, especially over the box office, the backlash, and what they keep calling as a boycott, even though it's not a boycott. Fans are just disinterested. There's a big difference there. But let's move into what's going on. Now, with Kathleen Kennedy and Phoebe Waller-Bridge still promoting Indy 5 while it's out in theaters, recently Phoebe Waller had a couple of things to state to the fans. She delivered the following: "I just think the naysayers and the doubters of this film need to come out of their basement and realize that reality does not revolve around them. We have been noticing a trend in Hollywood that many audiences refuse to watch a film with a female lead and begin to complain if they even get a hint of any of that. These types of fans are not fans and just posers and need to bloody shut up. Seriously, we made a great film and everybody loves it. We really are optimistic it is going to do very well throughout this month. But back to the fake fans. This is what we are dealing with in the film industry, and this is why we need to stand our ground, well, of course, and have more material, and we can be just as powerful as men and male characters, especially in an action film. I actually thought it was quite funny when we filmed the scene when Helena gets to punch Indiana. I thought that was a brilliant take we got to keep in the film because it shows dominance. It shows a woman is not afraid to be like a male action hero. And just because he is Indiana Jones, the man, the myth, the legend, doesn't mean a woman can't be the actual action hero in a movie like this. Scott, let me stop here for a second. This is kind of starting to bother me now, is that we have somebody out there like Phoebe Waller-Bridge who is coming forward that she believes it's funny that she got to punch Indiana Jones, that her character got to deck him and basically show her, authority, show her dominance and stuff like that. This is exactly why people do not like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She is so illogical when it comes to what she says. She tends to love downplaying everything that she's in and the fans that surround it. She did the same exact thing with L337, the most cringeworthy droid in Star Wars history, I must add, that everybody was cheering when that droid was just destroyed. And I'll remember my own experience in Solo. I'm not even kidding. When that droid got, destroyed to the point where everyone was standing up clapping. And that was a real moment when you realized that, yeah, even her droid was insufferable as much as Helena. They're both on pretty much the same level of annoyance levels. But anyways, moving to the next thing here, we know that Kathleen Kennedy is getting very much defensive as much as Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And you can see here that she is beginning to, kind of get a little very defensive over the fact that she thinks the fans that are passionate and outspoken and concerned about what's happening in the film industry, of how they are actually allowing things like this to happen, having stars like Phoebe Waller-Bridge getting involved in movies like this, making fun of the fandom that supports it and has supported it for multiple decades, and even going as far to think it's funny that she got to punch Indiana Jones or Harrison Ford. It's just insane. Now, obviously, she didn't really punch him, but as a character, yes, Helena does punch Indiana Jones in this movie in the third act, alright? It's not a huge spoiler, but I'll throw it in there. Why she does it is a big spoiler. Maybe I'll leave that out for now, but when we look at stuff like this, there's a lot of things that happen with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, is that she tends to always lose, her mind when it comes to the fans not liking her character. She had a very similar response when she was actually dealing with all the L337 controversy and the criticism over her character there for Solo. Moving on, however, alright, she continues, "It doesn't mean a woman can't be that, of course, powerful, and posers that claim to be fans need to grow up, and I have said this before, but we are dealing with individuals that just like to ruin success for others. They are not passionate. They simply do not like Indiana Jones, period. The movie is a very well-made and well-shot film that we put so much investing into." Yeah, $300 million, quite a bit. Moving on. "The movie is a very well-made film that we invested much into. Me and Kathy are still discussing sequels and how we can continue Helena's story. Please, LUCASFILM, no." Continuing. "Me and Kathy are still discussing that ongoing. This movie, people, needs to understand it's not just about Indiana Jones, but it's a great story for Helena to lead his path in this film and to show fans that contrast of one's youth and one's maturity in an indie movie." Now, here lies the problem, guys. She's literally admitting that this movie is a Helena movie, and it's really focused on Helena, and it is. She makes all the decisions in this film, she really makes all the calls, she is a contributor to basically fixing up Indiana Jones to a degree and knocking sense into him. And it's little things like that begin to add up, and it's not just the cringeworthy dialogue by her in this film, but it's the fact that you have a surrounding cast that just seems like they don't want to be there. Mads Mikkelsen, Harrison Ford, and everybody else involved in this film. They just feel like they don't belong there, and they don't want to be there, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge looks like she's having the time of her life. And that's where you begin to realize that she really is at the forefront. I think she was having the time of her life because she knows that Kathleen Kennedy gave her this opportunity to become the shining light of the film. That's why she's so energetic as an actor, and you have people like Harrison and Mads, who, by the way, Mads, very stagnant character, I don't know, he was alright, but Antonio Banderas, very underused, very underrated. I don't even know why he was put into this film. That was another complaint that I had, by the way. Used in the worst way possible, but look, at the end of the day, too, we have a lot of things to talk about, so guys, I would love to hear your take on this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.